Good day, sir. Good day, classmates. So we are presenter number 4. So we are here to discuss about explain the effect of wind, current, squat, shallow water on ship handling while maintaining safety of navigation. So my fellow members will discuss it.
One of the natural factors about which every navigator should be carefully while steering a ship is the wind. Vessels such as container and ro-ro ships have a large freeboard and are thus more affected by winds. This exposed area of the ship is also known as the windage area effect. Winds is more prominent over it. The wind effect on the same ship will differ at different places depending upon the draft condition of the ship. A wind with force of 3 on 4 on a barefoot scale will have similar effect light condition as a wind force 7-8 when the ship is down to her marks. When ship is slow speeds during maneuvering or near of the coast, wind direction is easy to find, but this is not the case when out of the high seas. The direction of the wind preserved when standing on deck is a relative direction. This is the resultant of the true direction of the wind and the course steered by the ship. It is very important for the ship navigator to steer the ship considering the wind effect so that the ship can steer efficiently without any difficulty. Following of the techniques a navigator must related to wind effect. Ship underway with wind from right astern. When the wind is blowing from the right astern, steering the ship becomes easy. However, in the case of a headwind, the stern part of ship has a tendency to pay off either side. This is difficult situation to tackle and getting the ship back on course, no piece of cake. Such effect is more often see ships where accommodation area is at the aft region. Moreover, the wind is such case has no braking effect. Note, given a choice between headwind and wind in the right astern, the headwind is the preferred for berthing.
So, continuation of Deck Cadet of Claret. I'm Ondoy Jan Vincent. So, ship underway with wind from a beam. When the ship is underway with the wind flowing from a beam, the steering of the ship is not affected. However, depending on the strength of the wind, the ship drifts sideways due to leeway, and this has to be accounted for while handling the ship. And ship underway with wind on the bow. In lighter condition, the effect of the ship's stem is larger, and this tends the ship's head to swing away from the wind, leeward. This requires the weather helm on the side of the wind, to be steered continuously. Ship underway with wind on quarter. When the wind is pushing the ship's stern away to leeward, the stern tends to swing towards the leeward. The ship is therefore steered towards the wind, and the ship is required to be given the lee helm. Vessel under sternway. When the ship is going astern, it rarely goes at a great speed. When going astern, most ship tends to swing to the starboard, and the effect of the wind is therefore a little more complex. In ballast condition, where the wind catches the bow, which it often does, the stern is pulled into the wind. This effect is quite definite, and rapid. Note, all ships turns around a pivoting point. This point is an imaginary reference and is fixed from observation of the ship turning around. It is known that when going astern, the pivoting point moves aft. Conclusion: navigators can use the wind, as good as brake, as a device for making a tight turn to maneuver comparatively easily as long as the wind remains about 2 to 3 points on the bow. So, next.
Good day, sir. Good day, classmates. So, I am Cadet Papuaya. So, I will explain the effects of current on ship handling while maintaining safety navigation. So, the effect of ocean current. Ocean current play a very important role in ensuring the stability of the ship. The effect of current, therefore, must also be considered when handling ship in waters. Effect of current are important especially when the ship is under the effect of shore wind near offshore platform while maneuvering in narrow channel and open seas or in inland water or harbors. So when the ship is in harbor or inland water and current is a constant strength and direction, the ship handling becomes considerably easier. So my members will continue.
So, as a continuation, sir, the main difference between currents and winds is that currents affect the ship in definite and predictable ways, unlike the wind does. Even in open waters, when the ship is approaching a rig or a mooring buoy, due allowance should be made for the effect of the current for a safer maneuver. Current from ships ahead will reduce the ship's speed over ground, improve ship's response to the rudder, and also give more time to assess and correct developing situation internal. So currents affect ships during their voyages. A ship steaming against a current will need to use more fuel to maintain a required speed. A ship steaming with a current will save fuel and can proceed at an increased speed. A current from ships ahead will reduce the ship's speed over ground, improve ship's response to the rudder, and also give more time to assess and correct developing situation. That's all, sir. Thank you.
So good day everyone. I'm Cadet Ricania. So I will be explaining today about the effects of squat on ship's handling while maintaining safety of navigation. When ship when a ship moves through restricted waters, it has to navigate close to shore and man-made structures because of limited navigatable width. The shallow water and add proximity of the sides of the channel affects the ship navigating through the restricted waters. This effect causes errors in maneuvering which can lead to grounding or collision. Any ships, regardless of its size, navigating through restricted waterways is heavily affected by hydrodynamic effects. It In this article we will understand three of most common effects experienced by ship: squat, bank, and bank cushion effects. So as you can see in the picture, the squat effect of the ship, the shallow water and proximity of the sides of the ship channel affects the ship navigating through restricted waters. This decreases the upwards pressure on the hull, making the ship sink deeper in the water than normal and slowing the vessel. This is known as squat effect. which increase with the speed of the vessel. So squat effect. What when a ship moves through shallow water, so some of the water displaced rush under the vessel to rise again at the stern. This decreases the upward pressure on the hull, making the ship sink deeper in the water than normally and slowing the vessel. This is known as squat effect, which increase with the speed of the vessel.
So, good day everyone. My name is the Cadet Perez Luis. I'm here to explain the effect of squats on ship handling while maintaining safety of navigation. So, the squat effect is the hydrodynamic phenomenon by which the vessel moving quickly through shallow waters create an area of lowered pressure that causes the ship to be closer to the seabed that would otherwise be expected. Thus, by reducing speed by half, the squat effect is reduced by factors of 4. So that's all for.
So I'm Cadet Kim Ninyo TV. So I'm here to explain the effect of squat ship handling while maintaining safety of navigation. When a ship moves through restricted water, it has to navigate close to the shore and other man-made structures because of the limited navigable way, the shallow water and proximity of the side of the channel affect the ship navigating through the restricted water. This effect causes error and maneuvering which can lead to grounding or collision. In a ship, regardless of its size, navigating through restricted waterways is heavily affected by hydrodynamic effect. In this article, we understand 3 of the most common effects experienced by ship: squat, bank, and the bank cautious effect. So first, squat effect. When the ship moves through the shallow water, some of the water displaced rushes under the vessel of rise again and the stern. This decreases the upward pressure on the hull, making the ship sink deeper in the water. The normal and slowing vessel. This is known as a squat effect, which increases with the speed of the vessel. Bank effect. Bank effect is a refer to the tendency of the ship's stern to swing towards the near bank when the ship is operating in a river or restricted waterway. So lastly, bank cushions effect. When the ship is near to the bank, the water is forced between narrowing gap between the ship bow and the bank. These water tend to pile up the starboard side of the ship, causing the ship to steer away from the bank. Before we move ahead, let's understand some of the basic principles in the physics while using the understand effect. Thank you.
Shallow water on ship handling while maintaining safety of navigation by Cadet Aurelio and Cadet Villamor. More ship's power is absorbed by the water due to increased friction. Usually, sinkage is greater forward than aft for ships of tanker speed and displacement in any deep turbulence interferes with rudder and proper effectiveness. Maintaining ship under keel clearance, shallow water navigation safety. A ship's safe maneuverability depends on the available water depth of the navigation area concerning the vessel's draft. Water depth limitations will considerably change the pressure distribution around a moving ship. They will mostly cause an increase of hydrodynamic forces due to the ship's motions through the water. Besides the expansion of the ship's resistance, water depth restrictions generally decrease her maneuverability. The dependence of the maneuverability in the lower underkeel clearance (UKC) range is very significant. A small reduction in UKC results in a considerable increase in the turning circle dimensions. As a result, larger bend radar are required in shallow navigation channel.
continuation. A ship's directional stability and maneuverability change considerably as a function of the available UKC, especially in natural waterways, rivers, estuaries, where the water extent may vary significantly, both over the channel and over the tidal cycle. A ship's maneuvering characteristics may be subjected to essential change transit through the canal. To ensure safe navigation while approaching shallow water, it is the master's responsibility who must calculate precisely under keel clearance requirement for the vessel and ensure it remains afloat at all times. What is shallow water in navigation? The water displaced by a vessel moving ahead is restricted in movement by the proximity of banks. The general effect is a build-up of the water level ahead of the ship and lowering it in the level astern of her.